And we are recording, Mr. Mao.
I'm ready. I'm getting over
Ooh.
a cold, but I'm ready.
Well,
But I
welcome
sound
back.
super sexy.
I'm glad to see that you're getting over a cold and your health is better overall. Me and Ron were very worried about you, and happy to report, ladies and gentlemen, that Simo's enema went well. As you can see, he's back this week.
Yes.
And that booty is nice and smooth now. You know,
Smooth, juicy, ready to rock and roll.
that's right. His poop smell like Mr. Clean. It's wonderful.
Have you done an enema before?
No, not willingly, at least that
Like
I
I
know
don't
of.
think it's a gay thing, but I will
No,
say,
no. I
I
think
mean,
I'm getting
obviously,
close to that age though, where like fingers up the butt and potential enemas will be in my future.
I will say that obviously a lot of gay men keep enemas in business because we prep a lot for a sexy time.
Right.
When we're making lovies, or just meeting someone new. So and then I will say though, sometimes if I'm not feeling well or like I feel like I gotta go or I just feel bloated, I might just do an enema just to do it.
Just
I have
depending.
I have a reusable one that I use.
You got
I
15 minutes to kill. The bus isn't coming for a while. Yeah, just use an enema.
Yeah, I'm like,
It's
and
just,
because sometimes I'm like, I know I'm gonna have to shit as soon as I get on the bus or the train or whatever, so I might as well just get
might
it
as
out
well just
now.
take care of it yourself,
Yeah.
That is one argument for abortion. But anyways, we're gonna do this in 3, 2, 1. What are you doing?
Testes in my mouth.
Get on the ground, you fucking pledge.
Ew.
Welcome to the greatest podcast experience of your life. This is the FratChat Podcast.
All young men like 3 things. Food, news, pussy.
Featuring Carlos Garcia and Chris
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of the greatest podcast in the history of podcasts and time. This is the FratChat Podcast. I'm Carlos Garcia with Chris Moore. Welcome back, Mr. Mo.
Thanks, man. Well, I've been working a lot. A lot of work. And
You be working.
Oh my gosh, it makes me earn that paycheck. But the more I work, the more hours I work, the more I realize that my hourly is not looking great. So I gotta find a way to either manage my time better, delegate better, or fight back against
You see,
the top and say
that's
this is too
why
much.
I think it's important for anybody who's overworked and underpaid like Simo, especially when we start counting long hours versus your salary and the hourly becomes shit. You set a time, where your time doesn't become worth your while, and you start drinking during that time, and then your service becomes whatever it is. But it's like, I would be a happy hour right now if I wasn't here, so I'm going to be at happy hour while I am here working.
Yeah.
And you will get the service that it becomes, and
That and
value.
also invest in a really good pocket rocket.
Yep. That always also
Like,
works.
listen, like I was looking forward to going home and having sex, but since I'm still at work, I might as well just
do it right here.
put that little like gadget in my butthole, and
you want to keep me here during me time? Well, I will have me time at work, and it's simple as that.
I normally clean up when I'm done, but I just might not today.
Yeah, it's up on you. It's all on you. It's company time too.
And I need a wet floor sign.
That's right. Make it 2.
So what can you do?
Just basic commands.
Yeah, but man, I've been working hard. How are you doing? What's new?
Life is good. I will personally be traveling in a few days, but don't worry, I will not result you guys to having to have Ron come back. But I'm going to Long Beach
I
Island.
love that little fucker, Ron. I'm sorry. You're going to Long Beach Island.
Long Beach Island, which I personally never been to, but because there's a couple of Long Beaches and there's a couple of Long Beach Islands in the U.S., so I could be going to any. Apparently, I'm going to New Jersey.
Is it a legit island?
Yeah, it looks nice. It's a island in the Atlantic Ocean. Oh, there's definitely sharks there, and it's near where like the shit where Jaws happened, the original
Doo-dum,
Jaws, like the
doo-dum,
actual story that the
doo-dum.
movie and the book were based on, that we spoke about very recently, 2 episodes ago, in fact, in our animal attacks videos
Ooh.
episode. So check it out. It was some scary shit, and now I'm gonna be
So,
there. So I'm gonna stay in the pool. Where?
okay, so are you allowed to drive there, or do you have to like take a ferry to get there? Is it one of
No,
those
no, you
islands?
drive over there. You drive over there. It's not
So there's
that.
a bridge.
Yeah, I would kind of be sketched out to be in like that island where I have to take a boat to, surrounded by the fucking Atlantic Ocean, and all these
Yeah.
sharks around. I'd be like,
So
nope.
like Fire Island, with all the gays, you have to take a ferry there, and there's no cars on the island unless they're like emergency vehicles. Like, what the
Ugh,
fuck?
that's kind of sketchy. I don't want to be stuck. After seeing that, God, what was it? The Lollapalooza 2 documentary? I think it was, where shit just went awful, and there was like riots and shit, and no one could get out because and people were dehydrated, and it just become a fucking shit show. I think that's what it was. Yeah, what was the Festival of Love in '69 that they
Woodstock?
redid? Woodstock 2. They did a Woodstock in the '90s. That's what it was. And it went to shit because, like I said, people ran out of water and shit. People were too drunk. Uh, there was like
You know,
riots and shit and rapes. It was fucking crazy. There's a great
there's
Netflix documentary on it.
there's a comedian that I'm obsessed with, and you know her, Carmen Lagala.
Oh,
And
yes.
she has this joke, but like it's really smart thing is she's like, if you don't have insurance, if you go to a concert, like a nice concert, and they have like a first aid like tent, like
Right.
they have
Oh, yeah,
everything.
you can
If
you
you're
can go there.
dehydrated, if you need antibiotics, if you whatever the case may
You're
be,
right there. Got a
they
little
got you.
syphilis.
I'm like, oh
Uh,
wow, there's no
touche.
co-pays, there's no co-insurance, there's no insurance at all. It's just you go in there and they hook it up. So I was gonna say, and I know you're gonna go on a trip this weekend. You're probably gonna drive there, but so I just came back from a trip and I flew and I didn't realize how easy it is to get to Miami. It's just like a
Oh, yeah.
3 hour flight,
It's right there.
so easy. I got lucky because I heard that last week it rained every day in New York. So like,
Oh, yeah.
so my flight wasn't delayed. Everything was good. But one thing that I is like a pet peeve of mine, I think, when I'm flying is like sometimes people will communicate, hey, I had to get off this plane as soon as possible. I have a connection flight. Like I've been in that
Right, right,
position. But sometimes I just feel like if when we're getting off the plane, the rows ahead of me should get off first.
right,
And then like my row, like either the left side or the right side will come off, they'll take turns. And then when we're all gone, then the next row will dismiss. Isn't that
right.
like proper protocol?
Yeah, essentially.
There's a lot of these dudes like on the plane who just like
Get
don't
up
pay
and rush it.
attention to those rules and just like push their way out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, like if you had to get out sooner, then you should invest in more expensive seats that are closer to the front of the
Totally, 'cause you can
plane,
pay for your
the
seat
plane,
and
you
just
know?
pick them. Mhm,
Like, I'm
mhm.
sorry that you just got like this random seat and you were unhappy being in the back. Now the back isn't a bad place to be because I think if you think about it, if a plane's gonna nosedive, wouldn't you rather be in the back of the plane?
I mean, if the plane nosedives, no one's gonna make it out alive, just so
Well,
you know.
I live I live longer than the person in the front row, but
Yeah, for a second and a half.
yeah.
Yeah, he'd go, "Oh!" and you'd get the ship, and then you both go, "Poop."
So I
You'd
don't
get
know.
closer to the dookie. Maybe the poop from the tank in the toilet back there would shield you, right? And it would save you
Maybe.
in a cocoon of shit.
I
And
just
you
I
would
just
come, "Oh, I'm alive."
I just feel like I hate flying. I hate traveling. I get so bored on planes. I can't wait to get off. But even as exhausted as traveling can be, I never sacrifice like good behavior and good etiquette, when I'm like
Yeah.
leaving the plane, It's
Yeah,
like
same.
old cranky men with their
There's just so
pants
many
hiked up too
douchebags.
high.
Yeah, there's so many douchebags in
And
the
then
world. That's the
also
problem.
it drives me nuts when they're like, "We don't have any room under the overhead compartments, so please check your bags. And people, they come in with their luggage, carry-on, and their book bag. They put both in the overhead compartment, and they don't.
Yeah.
No one's like watching this. And so then, and they also put their jackets and everything and their things around their necks. They put everything in the overhead compartment. So then when I show up, and I'm one of the last ones to board because I was at the bar, obviously. So when the last ones to board, and then they're like, "Oh, we have to check your bag. There's no room in the overhead compartment." I'm like, there would be room if these jackasses
These
follow the rules
assholes.
and put their purse and their book bags under the seat in front of them. Fuckers.
Yeah, people are jackasses.
But
Motherfuckers.
it's
That's
always
why I hate
white
traveling.
people. It's white people. It's not black people. It's not Hispanic people. It's not Asian people. It's white people that break all the rules flying.
Well,
Always.
what do you think I'm so passive aggressive to you? It's just you guys suck.
So embarrassed. What can you do? Anyhow.
Speaking of douchebags, it's
Yeah.
time for emails from the listeners. Just kidding. We love you guys. This week we got some good ones, Mr. Mo. Because the listeners, you guys are awesome. You're sending in some good shit. Last week we didn't do it, obviously, because you weren't here. And I just obviously there were no Ron specific questions because no one likes them. Just kidding, Ron. Simo likes you.
I like you, Ron. I like you so much that when I'm home by myself, I touch myself and I think of you. I'm just kidding. I don't have to be by myself. Yeah,
it's very uncomfortable. Very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I don't do elevators with Simo anymore.
No way.
But yeah, we got some good ones this week. So, would you like to take yours first, Mr. Mo, or?
Sure. So mine says, "Yo, frat chat."
Yo.
This might be a gangster. Okay, so Yo, frat chat.
Gangsters, what's up, fellow gangsters?
Yo, frat chat. He writes, "Is it weird to charge someone $2.80 for half a Lyft ride or $1.43 for a slice of pizza they've offered you?" Okay,
No
wait,
way.
let me just stop right here. What if $2.80 is half of a Lyft ride, then you tell me that your Lyft rides are $5.60 on average?
Back in the day, I used to be able to get to Hoboken from one side of Hoboken to the other in $5.60.
Really? That's not New York.
Yeah, well, New York, Hoboken's 10 blocks, 14 blocks. So it's not that long.
My Uber from JFK to Astoria was like $100.
I think maybe they were exaggerating here.
Okay, let me start over. Is it weird to charge someone $2.80 for half a Lyft ride or $1.43 for your slice of a pizza they offered you? My buddy's cool otherwise, but every time we hang out, I get a Venmo request for some microscopic amount. One time, he sent me a charge labeled couch use. Is this who he is, or do I need to stage a financial intervention? Nickel and dimed in Newark.
Oh, Newark. Very close to me.
Oh, there's no name. It's just nickel and dimed in Newark. That's his name.
Maybe his name is Nick, and he's being clever. So we'll just call him Nick.
Maybe.
But yeah, I know people like that.
I do too.
There's a lot of fucking.
You can block people on Venmo, just like any other app. Block them. You get no more requests, you just block them.
And just be like, oh, I don't know what's wrong with it. It's I get you, never. Now, brother, here's the thing, because I don't want to be selfish, but like, some people, there's some people in my life who, for example, when I'm with them and I'll cover stuff, I never like think to like charge them for anything. I don't, I just, I got it, don't worry, and then that's the end of that. But when they do, then all of a sudden we'll get like, oh, can you grab me a Coke when you go out or something to get food? It's like, yeah, you get. I'm not eating anything. Can you just grab me a Coke? And then they send me a Venmo, $3 for a Coke. Well, are you fucking serious, dude? You couldn't fucking eat the Coke? Like, really? I'm like, you fucking suck, dude. There's people like that.
I think of a lot of things. I feel like when we go out, it's always like, you want a beer? I'm up. Do you want one?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
like,
sure. Thanks. And then I'll get the next one.
Bar,
whatever.
Whoever needs anything, this is the time. And then you sit back down, and then the next person gets up and gets the round, and then then eventually everybody bought around for the most part, and we're all drunk and happy, and it's great.
Yeah, there's always like some sort of rotation system. I
Yeah.
think
That's
that
how it should be. That's how the bros do it. The good bros or ladies. I mean, not to be sexist. It's cool.
no,
Cool girl groups too.
I have a friend who lost her job a little while back, and so we went out, and she's like, "I gotta be frugal." I said, "No, no, no, drinks are on me." I said, "I was like, if I ever lose my job, just remember this moment." But like, no. So sometimes
Yeah,
you
buddy.
cover people. If it's a birthday,
Totally.
you cover them, or they're celebrating something,
Totally. Totally.
whatever, and then they'll get you
Or
back.
they just
But
got out of jail. Things like that.
so I
Murder
do think
trials.
this this pettiness, I do think is a really bad trait, and honestly, I wouldn't be friends with them. However, I'm gonna do um, I'm gonna play devil's advocate, and I guess my question for you, nickel and dimed, is if all of your friends are doing this, then you might be a mooch. So
Yeah.
there might be your friends pushing back finally and being like, "Listen, like we give you free stuff all the time. Like at this point, like you have to contribute in some capacity." Now, I do think uh a charge for couch use is like
Yeah, that's
weird.
ridiculous.
But if you've been sleeping on this person's couch for quite some time and you're
Ooh.
welcome,
Okay.
then
For sure.
maybe. So I don't know. I don't know. And I can't reach out to you nickel and dime because you didn't leave a name or contact information.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we could just reply to the email.
Well, yeah.
Not gonna
Yeah.
do that because
But I don't know his name. It's not personal. It's a stranger.
okay, cool. Then fuck you, nickel and dime. That's what happens when you
Yeah.
don't leave a name.
Fuck
Uh,
'em.
motherfucker. Anyways, yeah, fuck that. Fuck your friends, unless you're the mooch. And fuck you. So
Yeah.
fuck someone in the story.
Like I
That's the
have
whole
some friends
point.
who are super cheap and I can't hang out with them and I don't. Like there's like
Yeah,
a couple people that I'm like, no, 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 no. Like I'm gonna go broke. No way. No, 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 no.
totally.
Sorry about
Yeah,
it.
fuck them. Fuck them all. Anyways, on to
Mhm.
mine. Hey, frat chat guys. This sounds like a total Ned Flanders already. So I went to the strip club last weekend. Oh, never mind. For my buddy's birthday, and boom, there's my boss, front row, throwing singles, like he's got a printer in the back. He made direct eye contact with me mid lap dance. We haven't said a word about it at work, but he's been extra nice to me since. Do I ignore it, use it for leverage, or quit while I still have dignity? Asked to remain anonymous for obvious reasons, so don't worry. We won't tell anyone your name is Jeff from Columbus. Oh, damn it. Fuck. Sorry. I just kind of kept reading. Sorry, Jeff. Oh, shit. I said it again. But, anyways, there's so many Jeffs in Columbus. Who's going to fucking know?
I mean, it's not New York. Columbus is like a tiny city, right?
No, Columbus is pretty good.
There
Pretty
goes his
big.
job.
Columbus. Well, here's the thing.
Good job,
If
Carlos.
his everybody goes to strip clubs, and if his boss was there, what's his boss gonna fucking say? And you're off work hours, anyways. As long as you weren't doing lines of cocaine or something super illegal in front of him, then you got nothing to fucking say or do. You could blackmail him, I guess, if he's married or something, but like, what's that really gonna do? Just fucking take the nice boss and keep the funny, awkward story and thank you for sharing it. And that's what I would do. What do you think?
I think that it's cool. Like if I saw my
Yeah,
boss at a strip club, I'd be like, "Hey man, hey, enjoy yourself." I wouldn't make it weird. I wouldn't bring it up either.
totally.
I wouldn't say like, "Hey, like, did you ninny your pants like I did? Like, did you ruin a good pair of dress pants?" Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
sweet boner,
Hey,
right?
sweet
Hey.
boner. I just think it's cool, that they're out and about and enjoy themselves and they're human. And I like to see like my supervisors in like human activities, like at the bar or at a, just out and about, just doing fun things. I don't want to just think of my
Totally.
supervisors as like just like pushing paper all day every day. I hope that they're all out there having fun. So I think that's cool. Um,
Totally.
but
I
I hope
agree.
that they're not getting too close to these dancers. You can get STDs in your eyes. We see it at work sometimes.
Oh, like pink eye or worse?
Well, pink eye is just like okay. So if you say
Stripper farts on you. You just-
think this, so like if you tell someone that you have a stomach ache,
right.
well, that could mean a lot of things. It could be appendicitis. You've had that. It
Yeah.
could be I don't know, an ulcer. It could be stomach cancer. Shit, it could be gas. It could be,
Yeah.
it could be a million things. So it's such a big like umbrella. So when
Right.
someone says I have pink eye, that could be a million things. It could just be maybe someone farted in your eye. I don't know. Maybe you let your contacts in too long. Maybe you do have some sort of like viral or bacterial conjunctivitis, or maybe you have an STD. You can get chlamydial conjunctivitis. You can get I don't know. Gonorrhea is like gonocole conjunctivitis, something like that. But I don't know how to pronounce it. But I see it on like
Sounds
paperwork. I'm
awful.
like, ugh, it's so gross.
That sounds awful. Like I can just see, oh my eyes have gonorrhea in them.
Because
Ah!
if someone was like slinging yogurt like a fucking champ, like in this, like, you know what I mean, like slinging shit at your face like
Oh
Spider-Man,
yes,
right?
Simo.
Then you can catch something, yeah. But sometimes you could just touch the affected area and then haphazardly wipe your eye, and then bam, you got chlamydia in your eyeball.
Take this,
Scary.
Goblin. Ah, is that cum, Spider-Man? Ew. Why would you do that to me?
And they come packs a
Now
punch.
you learned your lesson. Don't attack this city ever again. Really? Why didn't you just use your web? You have to use cum?
And herpes in your eye is super painful.
Oh, God. That sounds terrible. Eye herpes. Of all the places where I thought you could get herpes, your eyeball. Like, how do you even get herpes in your eyeball? Are you like going in there into someone's herpes with your eyes? Like, come here, baby.
I think it's from like slinging jizz, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, but ugh,
You ever have a girl sit on your face and you eat her out and then she like
Ooh,
squirts all
that's
over
true.
you?
That's true. That could be it. God. So I guess close your eyes, folks. But you guess you can still get it on your eyelids? Oh, God, that sounds terrible.
Ugh.
This is a terrible subject. Oh, God. How do we get to eye herpes? We're only 21 minutes in.
If you have syphilis and goes untreated, it can eventually affect your eyes.
Oof. And what
It's really
happens?
scary.
Do you
So
just go blind or
so
they're like,
the reason why I bring this stuff up is
Casimo got
no,
syphilis?
it's twofold. One is, um, like if you run into like a friend who's at a strip club, like I would hope that you and your friend like wash your hands and like didn't get too
Yeah,
close.
just
But
give us
things
some bow.
happen.
Give us some bow.
But I wouldn't go up to someone afterwards and be like, high five, like, hey, I'm like, no, you keep your
Yeah,
distance till
no,
your
fuck
tests
no.
come back clear. Because I know what happens to the strip clubs. But also, we had a patient one time come in and he said, I have an eye infection. I went to a strip club. I didn't do anything. I was like, well, what parts were in your face? And how close were they in your face? And he got an eye infection from a strip club, you know?
Wow. I remember actually, I worked this job doing marketing for a car dealership, like the Baltimore area before moving out here. And right around the time that I moved out here, there was another girl that I think she worked in the sales department or something, or just the advertising department or something like that. But she and I both hated it there. Nice people, but the view was across the 7-Eleven. I've shared this on the pod before.
Yeah.
It made me want to move here. I mean, like, I can't fucking work across the street from 7-Eleven. Like that can't be my dream. And one day before I quit, she comes in and she's so pumped. She's like, "Yeah, fuck yeah, I'm out of here. I put in my 2 weeks. I got a job that pays so much more money. It's a better job, better hours. Fuck this place. I'm out." And I was like, "Oh man, that's so awesome. Like it's good
Good
for
for her.
you." Fast forward 2 months, and I'm finally moving out, and to have a little goodbye shindig. Some of the guys took me and a group of girls to a strip club, and we had like a wild ass time there, and it was fantastic. Now here's the thing: I'm sitting there like on like my sixth rum and coke, leaning over on the bar when I look across the bar and I spot someone very familiar. Like, what the fuck? Lo and behold, It was said girl from that place who quit.
What's her name?
And the,
Alexis or Lexi?
I can't remember, to be honest, but she was not stripping. But she was serving drinks and, like, very revealing outfit. Uh, and she was like the drink girl at the strip club, and I thought it was cool as fuck. Anyways, I thought she was hot as shit. Anyways, so I was like, "Fuck yeah, girl! If I was that hot, I would also work here as the drink girl." Uh,
It's a
but
step up from Hooters.
hell yeah, and I'm sure she makes fucking way more money than a Hooters girl. And Hooters girls, as we discussed on the show when we interviewed one, would make some good money back in their day. Um, but I saw her, I like went up to her and I thought, hey, what's going on? And she was like mortified. She's like, I guess she made it kind of seem like she was going to like a company type job, like fuck that place. And it was this, but I was like, dude, like you should not be awkward about it. Uh, it was hilarious though. But speaking of Hooters, actually, real quick, you know who is talking about buying it?
Who? Hulk
Brother.
Hogan? He's gonna buy Hooters?
He's talking about buying it because now he has a beer company, and he and some other dudes are starting like an amateur wrestling company with like the actual real wrestling from the Olympics. So he's like, Hooters, brother, is part of the American brand, brother. So we need to bring it back to its old fashioned power, brother. So he's Hooters declared bankruptcy, and I guess Hulk Hogan's trying to buy it, which is fucking ridiculous.
Last time I went to Hooters, my waitress is pregnant.
Fun
Like,
on
that's
some
just
hard
interesting.
times.
I don't think that I think you're allowed to be pregnant and work anywhere, but when you're like
At
past the
Hooters.
8-month mark and it's clearly uncomfortable for you to walk around, for you to be, doing serving, I just felt like a jackass. I feel like I should like jump up and help her carry my food over.
I dropped my napkin. Let me
Like,
bend over and pick it up. God!
Yeah.
I'm having the baby.
But I remember being like, I'm
Look
so
at the
sorry, but I asked for ranch. And then she's like, ugh, you're gonna make me go all the way back and get the ranch? I mean, no, it's okay.
It's okay. I'll just have this chocolate syrup with my wings.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah, it's fine. Oh, it's so good.
what the fuck? What can you do?
Anywho,
Anywho, what else you got?
well, it is time, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, for another edition of
Naked
Not the
Wednesdays.
yeah, bow, 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 bow.
Oh, whoops.
But it's of course not the Queens. Oh yeah, the segment that we all know and love. For every time they point a finger, you just say, "Hey, check out the FratChat Podcast, not the drag queen. We got some news for you, buddy." Because this week, and shout out to the good people at Right Wing Watch again. We love those guys. Keep up the good work. But a Utah judge, Robert Christensen, Republican, has been arrested for distributing child sex abuse images and other child sex crimes. Right City. He resigned shortly after he was charged with 2 counts of enticing a minor, a second-degree felony, along with 2 counts of dealing with materials harmful to a minor, 3 counts of aggravated sexual exploitation of a minor, and obstruction of justice, all third-degree felonies. The court sports spokesperson said he had previously been placed on unpaid leave during the investigation. Charging documents said the judge engaged in disturbing conversations with Tremonton Fire Chief Ned Brady Hansen, 54, about sexually abusing children, and the 2 men were also involved in a sexual relationship. Holy shit. Hansen was charged on Tuesday with 8 counts of aggravated sexual exploitation of a minor, first-degree felony. As a judge, Christensen denied a request to keep Hansen in custody in January after Brighton City police executed a search warrant at Hansen's home and argued Hansen would pose a risk to children in the community. The criminal cases for both men have been moved from the Brighton City District Court to the Ogden City Court. Christensen has his first court appearance on March 20th and Hansen on March 17th. The investigation began into Hansen last November when the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, which is that's a big deal, received information that an account connected to Hansen had engaged in distributing child sex abuse material. An arrest report said Hansen admitted to possessing the videos related to the tip and subscribing to the application. Later, police found Hansen had extensive number of chats with Christensen that were graphically sexual and involved discussion of sexually abusing kids, according to the arrest affidavit. Charging documents for Christensen said FBI investigators found an account connected to him was being used to communicate with others about sexually abusing children. It cited graphic sexual conversations with girls who told him they were 13 and 16 years old and said he shared personal details about himself and said explicit photos on the app. Oh boy, oh boy.
Well, it's kind of
Yeah.
ironic that this Christian judge's name is Christensen.
He did it for Christ. That's right. Let me put the Christ into you, kid. Pull down your pants.
Well, obviously he's a shit person, but I have a question. If
Go
you are
on.
distributing things, normally it's for a profit, right? Like
Not
normally,
necessarily. It could just be like, hey, man, check out these pictures of 6-year-olds I found. I know you're a pervert like me. Thank
because I was
you.
thinking to
I
myself,
love it.
sometimes people have a side hustle to make a little bit extra money, but don't judges make really good money? Like, is
Yeah.
he busy with like other things to
This sounds like he
to
was just a
take on
pervert.
this as a hobby? Like, that's disgusting.
Yeah, this sounds like he was just a fucking pervert, and him and his lover were both perverts. Simple as
Well,
that.
maybe Donald Trump will pardon him because he likes to pardon people who are
Yeah, right.
horrible shit
He'll be in Trump's
accusers of
cabinet in
Americans.
no time.
Yeah, totally. Did you see that Kevin Spacey uh was honored at the Cannes Film Festival and was like he made a comment about being like blacklisted when he was receiving the award, and he came back, he's strong. And I thought to myself, whoa, 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 whoa. You didn't get blacklisted because you like refused to give your body to Harvey Weinstein. Like, you're not a victim here. You're
Yeah, what the fuck?
blacklisted because you allegedly have been a total creepo with like people who weren't as successful as you. Like, you used your power in the success in the world of acting to like get people to do weird things to you. Like, come on, man. Like, you're
That's
gross.
wild. Weird.
Do you know who Kevin Spacey is, right?
Yeah, of course, of course.
From
And he was, I mean, not gonna lie, a very talented actor, but the shit he did was not cool. And I mean, he's in a very much in an O.J. Simpson situation because the courts didn't end up convicting him. He ended up legally getting off. But you know, the stuff you heard, and it makes you really pretty much know that he did do at least half of the stuff he was accused of doing. You know,
well, that one guy, his name's Anthony Rapp. He was in Rent on Broadway in the movie,
yeah,
but he accused him of some stuff. But there was like several allegations of sexual assault and
yeah.
sexual harassment.
There's like a
So for him
lot.
to be like, look at me now, like what? No one wants to look
Yeah,
at you ever.
totally,
Actually,
totally. I'm with you. It's kind of but anyways, we got some. We got two quick news stories to get to.
yeah.
And God damn it, I fucking. So Jimmy's probation officer
Uh huh.
apparently listened to the show and found out that we don't let him push the button anymore. Now she's like, we gotta let him do something, or else he's not really working, and he's just sitting there. And
He
he's
does
like
push our
rattling his.
buttons in a
I
sense.
was gonna say that's true. I should have said that. That would have been very clever. And then he could have gotten arrested again. It wouldn't be a problem for another few months. But no, we gotta let him push the button. So I'm gonna try to just do this once. So Jimmy, hey, fuck, come on, dude, what are you doing? Yeah, there we go. Hey, hit the news button. No, not that button. The news button. So now you got Simo getting high. My God, this is really gonna. Okay, can we do it on 3, 2, 1? You ready? He's actually ready. I'm gonna count 3, 2, 1, and when I say 1, you start to push the button. Okay. So
When you say
3,
1, I jump
2.
off a bridge.
Holy shit, he did it. Okay. So this is fucking crazy. A Pennsylvania woman named Christina Solometto, 44 years old, was taken into custody after a heated road rage dispute in Prospect Park, Pennsylvania, that was captured on video and widely shared online, including Simo sent it to me. Like, holy shit, check this out. The video, actually, I sent it to you. Sorry. The video shows.
I've seen this video on TikTok a lot lately.
It's crazy. The video shows as Solometto exited her car, leaned over, and proceeded to take a shit on another driver's car. The worst thing was that this wasn't even like a turd. It was like she was just spraying chocolate all over the place. And the whole thing took like 2 seconds. So let me tell you, she covered like a third of the hood and shit too.
Yeah.
So she had this like loaded up in the
Remember
cannon ready to go.
remember Yoo-Hoo drink?
Yeah,
And it was like kind of thick. It's like she took a whole Yoo-Hoo bottle and just like dumped it all over the hood of the car.
just in a split second. She now faces charges including indecent exposure, disorderly conduct, and criminal mischief as the bizarre incident drew national attention and sparks debate over public behavior and road rage consequences. This is what happens when you drive under the influence of Taco Bell, people. But glad to see Simo's mom is back on the news, and we wish her well.
No, my mom, she would have done it in the bag and then threw the bag at them.
That's
So
right.
so I just want to say that she's gonna get in a lot of trouble for this for sure. But
Yeah.
like I think about this sometimes. If you lived in Europe and you were drinking and driving, got caught, you're never gonna be allowed to drive again, ever. So like
I don't know if
so
they give a shit. I don't think they would pull you
Oh,
over for
I think
drinking.
so. I mean, it's not that big of an issue over there. So in America, if I drink and drive, I'm putting myself and others at risk. So I'm gonna get slapped in the wrist, and then I'll drive, and if I do it again, I might get a big fine, maybe a week in jail. And then I do it again, and then the third time they're like, "Okay, you can't drive anymore." You get 3 chances typically before they take your license away. So like
Right.
to me, like drinking and driving, yeah, you pay a fine, whatever. Like you might go spend the night in jail. But this woman, like, I think that what she did was gross, but I don't feel safer knowing she's behind bars. You know what I mean?
I do. I wouldn't want to be anywhere near that
I
woman
mean, she's
fleeing
fucking
the
gross,
street.
but like, by
Something needs to be done to her so she stops shitting on people's cars. Here's the thing. This is the first time that's been on video. She's perfected this shit. You saw that shit. That was a sniper of a shit. She has done this
so
before.
can
I'm
she
telling you.
poop on cue?
I think she probably
Do
can.
you think? I wonder if maybe she was like trying to get home and they cut her off, or something happened, and she was gonna hit. She thought she was gonna make the red light, but she didn't, or I don't know. Something kept her from like getting to go home in time, and she was like, "That's it. I was rushing home to shit, but since you kept me from my destination, I'm gonna shit on your car."
But she
I just wonder
blocked the
what like
person
the
in. She was in front of the other person.
oh, she's in front. Oh yeah,
I
she
think the
was.
person behind her like honked at her, like, "Hey, hurry up, lady!" And she got out and shit on her car.
Wait, so let me ask you: have you ever been so confident in this shit that you're like, I don't have to wipe?
Oh no, never.
So did she just pull up her like undies in her pants, not knowing if this
She
was
just
like
no,
because it
she
looked pretty messy. Like I would assume that it would require a few
it
good
looked
wet
like a
wipes.
Michael Bay movie, when they're like there's like an explosion and they're just coolly walking away from it.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what she did. She took this poop, she pulled up her drawers and just didn't even look back. She got right back in her car while the other person was like, "Oh my god, did you just shut my car?" And the person filming was like, "Oh my god."
I I don't know what I would have done if that was if I got my car shit on, but and like I think that woman's like clearly disturbed, but I still don't think that she's deserving of like years behind bars. You know what I
I
mean?
would have grabbed her face and fucking make her kiss the shit.
I
I don't
think she
believe
needs
in violence against
therapy and
women,
community
but
service and a
if someone
fine.
shits on you or your property and you like your car like that, like it's not like it's just like your imagine someone took a shit in your yard. It's pretty awful, but like at least like eventually the rain will take care of it. Someone taking a shit on your car, what the fuck? You got to go wipe that off. Like no, fuck no, no.
Remember last year when I told you that I saw this there's a diaper, a dirty diaper flying in the wind, and I thought to myself, new fear
Yeah,
unlocked. And I also
yeah,
thought to myself, like, nowhere is safe. If there's a
yeah,
baby, there's potentially a flying dirty diaper, and I don't want
totally.
to be anywhere near that. I never want to leave my house ever again.
Fuck that. Just fuck
Oh,
all that. And
yuck.
this is Pennsylvania too, where people are supposed to be nicer. This is thought it was supposed to be some Florida shit, but nope.
If
Pennsylvania.
then I hope she doesn't drive through Lancaster because if you think everyone else sucks at driving and you're enraged, don't get behind a horse and buggy. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yep.
You'll never get home.
uh-huh. But anywho, from a shitty story to another shitty story. But this was crazy. And this one you sent it to me, and I couldn't believe that this actually was true. Ladies and gentlemen, it's very much true, and it's a developing story.
Hmm.
And it's crazy because there's a documentary about a similar story that happened with some French guy years ago, but uh, I digress. This is for you peoples to now can't say that I don't talk about my own people on the show because in a bizarre case out of Ohio, of
Hmm.
course, it's Ohio, a 24-year-old Venezuelan man
Your
named
cousin, right?
yes, that is
Your
my
cousin
cousin,
Anthony?
second cousin, actually.
Oh, okay.
Anthony Emmanuel Labrador Sierra, and I'm sure it's Antonio. I don't know what the fuck he bothers. But he managed to enroll at a Perrysburg High School by posing as a 16-year-old student, using forged documents and claiming to have been trafficked from Venezuela. He convinced school officials of his false identity and even secured guardianship through juvenile court. During his time at the school, he participated in swimming and soccer, blending in with students nearly a decade younger. His deception unraveled when his child's mother informed his school family of his true age, even providing evidence like an Ohio driver's license. Authorities have charged Sierra with forgery, and he now faces potential deportation. A judge set his bond at $50,000 and requiring him to wear an ankle monitor and stay at least 2 miles away from the high school. The case has raised concern about the vetting processes for school enrollments and the potential risks posed by such impersonations. Holy shit, he was on the team. This is
You know what? What he did is so dangerous, not just for the obvious, but now the far right conservatives are going to take this story and they're going to use fear mongering and act like, you know what, we knew that they did this and did that and they did this and these immigrants are such a
We're
threat
invading our
to whatever,
schools for our
and now they're
benefits.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
motherfuckers. Well, I know. I was like thinking maybe I shouldn't give them ammo, but at the same time, it is fair to be fair and non-biased. And obviously, not all Venezuelans are good people, just like not all Americans are good people, just not all not all everybody is good people. This guy, at the same time, though, it's like, dude, he did look very young. I have to say, he did pass for high school, but like, it's like, what's the end goal here? You get adopted, you get another chance at college or something. Like, what the fuck are you trying to do? Just be yourself. And if you have a baby mama out there, don't you think like people are eventually gonna find out? Like, are you fucking dumb?
but I'm not sure what his end goal was, and he seems like a total weirdo, and I shouldn't even bother thinking about what his ending game is going to be. But the far right is going to say that he did this so he could, be in
Bang
the
kids
locker
and
room with
shit.
minors or try to
Yeah.
date young girls or like,
All the stuff that they're trying to do.
yeah,
Like these
exactly.
immigrants are out here trying to take our jobs. Fuck. Happens every time.
Yep.
Oh, so that's crazy. Some more.
Immigrant can have my job. You can
Yep.
take it. Immigrants,
Yep.
are you listening? Take it. Take my job. It's okay. I'm stressed.
But go ahead and take Simo's job. But yeah, this is again a developing story. We'll keep you posted as if anything else comes out in the future. But man, I wonder how good he was too in like these sports, like swimming and soccer. Because if he was playing against like 16-year-olds and he was 24, just out here murking kids.
hmm
like I started at 16 around is when I started to get like muscular and stuff. And I would still fuck up my 16-year-old self now. And however, there were some kids that definitely hit puberty a little later. And they were some shrimpy ass 16-year-olds, So a 24-year-old versus a 16-year-old is a fucking massacre. I can't. I would love to watch that highlight reel. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
This guy just murking kids. Oh shit. Anyways, it is time to get to it, Mr. Mo, because
If you can do it, put your back into it.
that's right. Oh, I farted. Sorry. And I hear after Simo's enema, his asshole farts sound like this.
Have you seen the TikTok videos that are like guess my fart, and then like someone will make a fart noise, and then you try to fart and try to mimic the noise that they guessed?
No, what the fuck do you want? What is your algorithm, dude?
Guess
What?
my fart is so funny. They'll say, "Hey, guess my fart," and someone will be like, "I don't know, maybe it'll sound like this." And then when they fart and it sounds like this, they're like, "Hey, high five."
I made it. Ooh, that was a crunchy one. Oh no, I have not seen Guess My Fart, but now I kind of really am curious. So I might
I'll
have
send
to.
you one. They're so good.
No, please don't. Please don't. But anywho, it's time to buckle up, ladies and gentlemen, because today we're diving into the wildest, the dumbest, the most. Wait a minute. You called the cops for that shit moment? We could find because we're going to rock you with some insane 911 calls here at the FratChat Podcast. And these are just emergency calls. They're fucking calls for attention, for bad decisions, or in some cases, some plain dumbassery. Now, these are the moments where common sense took a coffee break and people thought dialing 911 was the solution to their dumbass problems. So grab your phone, but don't call the cops because we got it covered on insane 911 calls. Brought to you by the FratChat Podcast. That was perfect, right on top of the song. Very professionally done, Carlos. Pat myself in the back. And sources, of course. We got some from Reddit, D-Milk, some from police reports, a little bit from NBC, a little bit from CBS News, a little bit from everywhere. So thank you and shout out to all those sources because we love sources. And I'm just going to say sources one more time. Sources.
There was a bar in Towson called Saurus's.
Really?
Yeah, they had a lot of beer on tap.
I don't remember
Anyway,
sources.
who's going
Anyways.
first?
You can start. You can take it.
Okay, have you ever been so high that like you couldn't move? You've been like
Yeah.
so high that you're like panicking on the inside, like I can't move,
After
or
taking
you're
a dab, yeah.
or you're thinking to yourself like, what is that noise, or are people listening to me? Are they watching me, or do people know I'm high right now? You just
Totally.
get paranoid. Okay,
Totally.
well, this 911 call happened in Boulder, Colorado, a while back. A hysterical teenager called 911, claiming his friend had been swallowed by a tube monster. After a lengthy call, it was revealed that both teens were under the influence of LSD and had been rolling each other down a hill inside a large plastic tube. One got stuck, leading to the panic call. Though, can you imagine being like so high and that happening, and you being like, "Oh my god," they don't know what's happening. And can you imagine the 911 operator being like, "Wait, what? What's the monster? Who knows?"
a monster, a tube monster, and oh my god. Yeah, I can actually, especially tripping fucking balls on LSD, I can totally see it. Because once tripping balls, me and another friend convinced a third friend that we had shaved his hair, and there happened to be hair there because I cut my other friend's hair earlier in the day, and he literally thought that that was his hair, and he was grabbing my friend's cut hair from the trash and trying to put it on his fucking head. And he was like,
Oh
"How could you guys
god.
do that to me?" And I was like, "Yeah, dude." Then we have to like convince him that that's actually not his hair, which is very much a hilarious half-hour conversation.
But you know what though?
So yeah,
If I was a 911 operator, I feel like I give too much leeway because, like, there is something called the Tube, like, in Europe, in like, London, right? That's what they call their subway, the Tube.
right.
So, if there's, like, a monster on the Tube or a tube monster, I would be like, "Well, maybe they meant this or that." Like, I wouldn't think it literally, but I would still, like, give them the benefit of the doubt. Do you know what I mean?
Let's see, if I hear the Tube Monster, I think like a huge dildo. The Tube Monster 2000
Okay.
with 35% more ass blasting power. Yeah.
And 50 watts of vicious sound.
That's right. It's got 400 horsepower of power straight into your ass.
Well, speaking of ass, this kid's ass got out of the tube. He survived, but
What a dumbass. That's so good. I
but
can't
I do.
imagine just being so high and calling the cops, like being on acid and thinking that your life depends on the police and knowing that you're on acid.
Okay, so if you're on acid, you know where you should go? You should go to a club. You should go somewhere with bright lights. You shouldn't roll down a hill in a tube.
All right, I'm not gonna lie, that sounds fun as shit. Yeah, an acid rolling down. That's exactly what I would do. I just wouldn't think that I got caught in that fucking tube monster. But at the same time, when I tripped back in my day, I mostly like to hang out and listen to music and watch TV and cool shit. So I mostly stayed at home or at a friend's place. I was not into leaving and doing adventures and fucking risking running into
Not
cops
playing
and
in
shit.
traffic.
Yes, that's right. The old
Yeah.
Frogger. Trip balls and play on the street. Yeah, no, not for me. So, I don't know. I'd be too scared to be rolling down some hill near some public park or some shit, and then some cop shows up. So I don't know. I wouldn't be doing it, but it does sound fun. Just saying, minus the whole death, terrifying experience when you freak out.
Yeah.
But I have been there. Bad trips are scary, man. Ugh. You never know what's gonna happen. But anywho,
Anyhow,
on to the next one. My first one over here comes from Portland, Oregon. And I'm not going to lie, I'm surprised by how often Portland will come up on this list. I'm going to say it right now that I do think it's giving Florida a run for its money this episode. And I was not aware, Portland, that you were freaking like that.
do they
So
have like their own militia or something?
after listening to this, you'll see after this episode, it wouldn't shock me if they did. I have no idea, but it sounds like something Portland would do now. I didn't used to think that they were like that, but they wild. But anyways, a guy broke into a house in Portland, Oregon, was able to get inside, and then after a little while in there, proceeded to hear the homeowner in the home thinking the guy was possibly armed, because I guess that's what it'd be. The burglar freaked out and proceeded to lock himself in the bathroom of the house he had just broken into and called 911 on himself like a fucking idiot. He told dispatch, I just broke into a house and the owner came home. Now I'm scared. Meanwhile, as the burglar was doing this, the homeowner was also on the line with 911, being like, yeah, there's some dude in my bathroom. You come get him? When the cops arrived, they found the guy hiding in the tub, where he was promptly arrested. And I would at least taken a bubble bath at that point. Because, police probably took like 40 minutes to come. But good Lord, man. Like, if you're that scared, maybe breaking into homes isn't for you. And of all the places you're gonna shut yourself in a bathroom, just run out the front door. The fuck are you doing?
They should have shot him. Here's how I feel about it. Listen, when you break into someone's home, not only are you destroying property because you're probably breaking glass or breaking or some, chimney a lock or whatever. So you're probably
Right.
breaking something. You're stealing stuff, so like that's not nice. But you're also ruining this family's like personal security. They're never gonna feel safe in this home again. They're always anytime that
Yeah.
any sound they ever hear, they're gonna flinch and wonder who's in my house. Like you're doing so much damage, and so like shoot them. Yeah, if you're gonna break in somewhere, that is a risk you're willing to take, I guess, because a lot of people have guns. It's a civil right that we have just to bear
Yep.
arms. So like what do you think is gonna happen? They're just gonna let you take their fine china and be cool with it? What the fuck's wrong with you?
Just throw a grenade right out of that son of
I would have shot through the door. Horrible. That's horrible.
Yeah. No, that's
What a dumb
fucking.
fuck.
But it's an idiot. And I've lived in places that have been broken into before. It really is. You do feel a certain way after the fact, almost
Mm-hmm.
like violated, like your stuff, like someone can just get right in here, and it's very uncomfortable after the fact, trying to, especially the first like night or two, trying to fall asleep, knowing that someone can just come right back.
Oh, totally.
So, yeah, very scary shit. But anyways, what you got next?
Well,
So,
this
I mean,
happened
this
in
is before you go. This will be the only call on the list where someone calls the cops on themselves. I hope. Fucking moron. Like what? But anyways, go on.
all right, so here's one that is like so crazy. And of course it's from Florida. This happened in Daytona Beach, Florida.
Oh, been
So
there.
a woman hysterically called 911 to tell them about a naked man lovingly talking to a tree. That was a
No.
quote. The quote was lovingly
Oh
talking to a
yeah,
tree
Simo.
while simultaneously like humping it. You know. So initially,
Baby tree. I have to say that you're not the only one that's got wood around here. Oh yeah.
I thought to myself, remember Mary Catherine Gallagher, the
Yes,
movie?
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
She used to make out with the tree. So I thought to myself, well, maybe he was being funny and like recording it, for a TikTok video. But the fact that he's naked and also humping it, I'm like, oh, you're gonna scrape your dick
Yeah,
down
that
bark, bro.
hurts. Ow.
So initially, the 911 dispatchers thought that it was a prank due to her laughter, but then officers were dispatched, and upon arrival, they found the man fully nude and fully engorged, with like boner and all, engaging
Boner.
intimately with this tree. He was high on drugs and even tended to hump an officer's leg during the arrest.
No, that's just insult to injury. That's one of the unspoken dangers of the job of being a police officer. That some fucking Florida man's gonna try to fuck your leg.
Though, I'm gonna be honest. If I had an option between arresting a naked person and not naked person, I'd rather arrest a naked person because, um, you know, people that have clothes on, you don't know what kind of like guns or knives they might have in their pockets. But there's very little you can shove up in the butthole. You know what I mean? So like, I don't think there's gonna be like a pistol in there or like a stun
Holy
gun.
shit! There's a whole katana sword in there.
You know?
Is that a lightsaber?
Like cops, they put themselves at risk, like when they're like patting on people or like arresting them because they could like if that person's deranged and like has a gun, they could shoot them and be done with it. So I'd rather just look at them and know what I'm walking into instead of wondering like what they're hiding under a layer of clothing, you know?
You know, I never thought about it that way, but that's not a bad thought. I'm kind of with you. I guess you do feel safer, but here's the thing. Usually when someone's in Florida, fucking a tree naked, and doesn't give a fuck, they're usually some pretty intense shit. like, like I've seen some naked PCP dude fight off like 50 cops, and like
Yeah.
they feel no pain. They're super strong and shit. It's like, oh, good lord. So I guess it depends on the nakedness and the situation.
Yep.
And if you're far away from Florida, fuck, it's Florida and Portland or Oregon, man. The craziest places on earth, apparently. But yeah, no.
And yes, I just Googled it. Portland does have its own, like, Portland militia.
That's wild. I mean, I guess that's good. I guess if we had more militias, we don't have to worry about it. But it depends on what type of militia they are, you know?
I don't understand these things.
Well, because, the militia is just an armed little force, they all have guns and shit. You say you represent something, but there's militias that are like, there to help the army and do good things and there's to help like firefighters and shit, and be like a help the town's police force, and there's different causes, but there's also like right wing Nazi militias,
Like the Proud Boys.
like the Proud Boys, essentially a
Oh.
militia, as much as they are a
Have you
hate
ever
group.
called 911 before?
Twice. Once
Why?
is a joke though. When I was a kid, it was
Uh-oh.
terrible. I was at a Red Lobster visiting the states, and I don't know why. I think my brother dared me. Like, you wouldn't dial 911 on the machine phone, the fucking payphone. They're not
Yeah.
payphones anymore. I forgot what they were called. And I was like, who won't? And I dialed 911 and hung up. But apparently, like, even if you dial 911 and hang up immediately on a payphone, it still fucking calls the police in case it's like like a crazy hostage situations or something like that. So the cops actually came, and then I got, my parents were able to talk to me now, and I didn't really get in trouble because I was like 6 or 7. But my dad whooped my ass. And another time it was like to call an ambulance. So that was no good. What about you?
I've called multiple times at my job because I think it's because we're around the corner from a methadone clinic at like my
Oh,
office. But sometimes I'll see people like face down on cement with like a syringe in their arm. And I would say 99% of the time, like once the ambulance comes and says, "Hey, like, do you need help?" They jump up. They're like, "No, I'm good."
that's
But up
wild.
until that point, they're like, they're not responsive, you know?
Yeah,
So, but I always feel bad calling because I feel like what's the one chance or the off chance I don't call that they could die, you know? And
totally.
so, but when you call 911, they say, "Do you need fire or medical or like, I don't know, police?" And I never say like I need police, just say I need medical, you know? But
Totally.
there are a lot of people, especially like super liberal people who are like, we can do without police officers. I'm like, I don't know. Like, I don't want to call like a neighborhood watch if like someone's in my house with like a gun at at my head. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, it's wild.
So,
Ugh. It's crazy. That's some scary shit. Especially, you never know. Someone's fucked up enough. Who knows?
you
But
know
the
what?
thing is, they might be a good person, but the drugs might tell them you're a fucking demon from outer space trying to suck their soul, and they have to kill you. Like, it just, when you're in some fucked up stuff, the drugs can tell you some weird shit.
No,
So,
one time during the pandemic, um, uh, there's this guy like pass out. It was hot outside. He had no shirt on, and I was just watching him turn red in front of my eyes, and he was
ugh,
just passed out on the sidewalk. So I called 911 and said, "Hi, this is guy. Um, he's passed out on his back." They said, "This is life and death. I need you to go out there, try to wake him up. I need you to roll him over." Now I'm thinking to myself, bitch, no, he has no mask on. And we're all told to like respect people's like 6 feet right now during the
right,
pandemic, you know? And
right.
so I was like, no, I don't think I can do that. She's like, well, can you try? I was like, I'm trying. I tried to nudge him. He wouldn't wake up. That's a lie. And she's like, oh, he can try to roll him over onto his side because if he throws up, he could die. And I was like, oh, I'm trying, but he's just too heavy. And she's like, sir, are you really trying? And I was like, honestly, no. She's like, well, what if this happens? I'm like, well, then you guys better hurry up and get your ass over here because I ain't touching him. I'm not touching him. But like people on drugs are like, who knows what's gonna happen, you know?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, and here's the thing: you're also like, I feel bad because you never know someone's situation, but like there was, my brother was in town, like a month ago, and we were on the subway, and then someone got on and sat literally right next to me, and this person smelled like 6-week-old piss, like it was so bad that it stunk up the whole train and everybody was looking around like, what the fuck is that smell? I hear my brother ask me, luckily it was in Spanish, so the person didn't understand. It's like, what the fuck is that? And I'm like, it's right next to me. Be quiet, because I didn't want to make him feel bad. But
Yeah,
I waited. I didn't want to be rude, and I want to make this person feel worse than they already probably did. So I waited till the next stop, and some people got off the train, and then I got up and acted kind of like I got off and moved over there. But the thing was, she reeked awfully, and she was falling asleep, so she kept leaning towards me, and I'm like, ah. And like you feel awful, but it's like some people just, like this person clearly hadn't showered in potentially months and was wearing the same
yeah,
clothes for potentially months. It's like at some point, being good can fall out the window and it's like, fuck, this person smells like shit. You gotta touch him. It's like, oh, like imagine if you had to do mouth to mouth of this guy. You know what I mean?
ugh,
And it's like, this is how you keep him alive. And it's like, I guess at the end of the day, maybe I would do it, but I would look up to the skies and be like, you fucking owe me one, motherfucker. Like,
ugh. You know what? When I lived in Chicago, down the hall, it smelled so bad, and I kept telling the front desk something smells really bad. I called the health department myself because I was like, something this is not right. Like it's this whole wing smells so bad. This guy died. He died, and his
oh,
caretaker, I guess, called out sick a couple days, and no one checked on him. He's a really really big guy, but he died, and then. When they took him out, they couldn't fit him through. I guess he didn't fit like on the gurney or something happened. I don't know, but I just remember that
oh,
they took
God.
him in the sheets and they like rolled him up like a burrito. They had like squeezed him through the door.
Oh, my God. He was a freak in the sheets. Oh, literally,
Yeah,
he was
and they
freakishly large.
and then they carried him down. And then one of my neighbors was like, and she's like, I tried to get into the elevator and I couldn't, and it was taking a long time. And then they came out with like all these like guys holding like 10 guys holding these sheets with like some like dead guy in it. Isn't it gross?
Oh, wow. That's so gross. Yeah, the smell, too.
Heave ho
I
heave.
mean, the
It
smell
stinks
of
in here.
any decomposing body, like even a mouse, if you fucking have had a mouse that dies in your apartment and you can't find it for a couple of days, that alone smells awful.
Yeah.
Imagine a human body, imagine a ginormously overweight human body after a couple of days. Oh, that shit was festering in there. Good God. For it to smell so bad that you smell down the hallway, you imagine walking into that apartment.
Ooh, no.
Yeah, no,
Yikes.
I don't fucking. Ugh, 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 ugh. Anywho,
Anyhow, is it my turn?
no, I
Your
believe
turn.
it's my turn, and this next one, might be comparable to being stuck in that man's apartment after the fact. But this one happened in Washington State. Oh God, this is my nightmare. But a California tourist found herself in a rather messy situation during a road trip through Washington's Olympic National Park when she dropped her phone into a pit toilet at the park. And then, while attempting to retrieve her dropped phone from the outhouse, she fell in to the fucking pit toilet herself. Oh,
Is that like where all the poop goes?
that's where all the poop. Like imagine like falling into a giant porta potty hole, essentially. Uh, Good for her, because I would not be as calm as she was. Demonstrating remarkable composure, she was able to use the phone to dial 911 and even managed to joke about her predicament. When the dispatcher asked, "So, other than this, how are you liking Washington so far?" she apparently responded with self deprecating humor, which is nice. Because we all know that laughter is the best medicine against syphilis, which, I'm sure she got from that fucking pit of shit,
And
Eventually.
then you can get that in your eye too,
Oh, yeah.
And if you ingest shit, like you can get toxoplasmosis.
Yeah. Oh, that's fucking wild.
Ugh.
Um,
That's why pregnant people shouldn't change the litter box. Because if you ingest poop particles, you can get toxoplasmosis.
oh yeah, you can, and that's a wild. And mice get that shit too.
Yeah.
And then they're not scared of cats, and then fucking the cat kills them. But anyways, I digress.
Yeah.
Eventually, firefighters had to pull out this lady out from the toilet like a diarrhea covered phoenix. Swah! And I just gotta say, of all the things that could just happen to her, that is just so shitty. You know what I mean?
Touche.
I wonder if
And
she
you're
fell in and she's like,
touche.
"Holy shit!" Is her new nickname Winnie the Pooh? The next week, her boss was at work and was like, "Oh, thank God you're back from vacation. You have no idea. I've been up to my neck in shit all week." And she's like, "Ah!" Starts choking him. Okay, I'm done.
Well, I want to give her an anal salute for surviving this
That's right.
crazy. Oof, man. Like,
From
that's
the
like my worst nightmare.
So yeah, that's Simo's ass right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know, dude. I can't imagine falling into not just a pool of human shit, but like it's a pool of everybody's shit. Like so many different people's shit and piss and like whatever the fuck else the piss and shit mixed together into, and fucking like I can't.
You know what though? I don't think I would want to live after that. I would call the cops. When the cops came, I would say whatever I needed
Shoot
to get
me.
shot. I would say,
Finish the
listen,
job.
I'm armed and I'm crazy and I'm coming for you. Like aim for my head, please. Tell
Yeah.
them you're a minority, and then they'll probably do it anyway.
Yeah. Yeah,
Ugh.
I agree. I agree. Yeah, I'm Venezuelan. Oh God, get him! We got another shitty foreigner.
What's that gang called? Tres de Agua or something?
Tren de Aragua.
Tren de
Yeah,
Agua.
yeah, the train of Aragua, which is
Like those are my friends. So have at it. Shoot me. Aim for the heart. Oh, yikes! So scary.
yeah, fuck that. Ooh, anyways, from a very shitty situation to another, what you got
Well,
next?
this one I think is actually scary. Even though it sounds kind of funny, but I do think it's scary because a woman called 911 after discovering. Oh, by the way, this happened in Clovis, California.
Okay.
Not Florida, not Oregon, surprisingly.
Yeah,
So
we're
this
California.
woman, she called 911 because she discovered her ex-boyfriend completely butt naked and stuck halfway through her doggy door at 3 a.m. So a couple things. First of all, like, do people still have doggy doors? Is that like a thing? Like that was like
Yeah,
on
which I don't
TV
get
shows.
why. You're just asking for something like this to happen.
You're asking for a raccoon to come in or a stray cat or
Yeah, that's true.
what are
Totally
you asking
true.
for? But also I think to myself,
And rats.
um, yeah, rats, possums, things like that. But if the doggy door is large enough for a human to get through, then like your home is not secure.
Yeah.
So part of me is like, bitch, like get rid of the doggy door. It's like stop being lazy. Take your dog out for walks.
To be
Schedule a walk.
fair, he did get trapped, so maybe that's just a human trap.
Yeah, maybe. So he
Gonna
had
get
broken
past with his
in.
boner.
He had broken in hoping to win her back with romance,
Oh, when
quote
you
unquote.
up didn't work.
So police arrived to find his legs flailing outside, his pride fully wedged in.
Oh,
So when they questioned him, he claimed he was trying to surprise her with breakfast in bed, but they didn't find
you brought
any
no food.
food, no groceries, just
Just a little
him
teeny tiny sausage.
naked with some rug burn and completely embarrassed. So That to me is scary. Like he was wasted at 3 a.m. trying to get some nookie, I guess. So
Yeah,
maybe this doggy
and
door
naked
prevented a potential like sexual assault. Like I mean,
or
that's
murder.
like if she wanted her ex-boyfriend to have contact with her, maybe she would let him keep the key. But he
Right,
didn't. She took the key back because he
right,
had to go through the doggy door. Like that's
right.
horrible.
Yeah, that's fucking terrifying, dude. It's not cool. And here's the thing, I've seen enough murder shows where it makes me wonder if he was trying something more sinister. Like people, I saw there was a serial killer. He used to literally strip naked, and that way he wouldn't leave any fibers or anything behind when he killed people. So it's definitely not great of a situation if you're trying to break into someone's house butt naked at 3 a.m. after a few, so I don't know. I hope that guy gets something bad because fuck that guy.
I mean, listen, I'm gonna make her breakfast in bed. Okay, there's no food. Okay, you
At 3 in the
obviously
morning.
fucking crazy, up to no good. I don't know what your intentions are, but they can't be good. I saw this
Yeah.
TikTok video of this girl. She's this ugly butch bitch, and she had like tattoos on her face of like feathers or something. I don't know.
Right.
And she was wearing a UPS jacket, but she didn't work for UPS. She parked down the street and she was like scoping out different houses and like looking through. And then someone called 911 and was like, this person has parked on the street for a long time. We don't know them. They're going door to door. And they have a UPS jacket, but they don't have a UPS truck. It's weird. And then cops approached this woman, and she has a weird excuse. And then they frisked her, and she had a gun and handcuffs on her. And so, like, who knows what she was up to? And all of her excuses were lame. But like, you never know with people. Like, if you ask someone point blank, "What are you doing here?" and the first thing they tell you is so like preposterous, then
Yeah.
you don't even need to know what the real reason is. Just know that it's not good and like they need to be removed.
Totally. Totally. And at least get an ass whooping to learn something from that. Like fuck the fuck, 3 in the morning naked. That's some serial killer shit.
I would have messed with him before the police came. I would have, I don't know, put like maple syrup all over him and then put a lot of like bird seed, and then I would have just let him stay there all morning
Yeah.
and let
Me
birds eat
too.
off of him and poop
Yeah,
on
I would
him.
definitely give him some Viagra. That's a great idea. It's like, fine, you want to be a fucking weirdo? Fine. Let's make you a weirdo. Make him swallow that Viagra, put some honey all over him, so all the birds start coming in, and then call the fucking neighborhood over. Hey, everybody, come check the weirdo creep stuck in my fucking door. He thinks it's hilarious. Shame. Shame. Man,
Shame.
that would be fantastic. I think that's what people like that should get. So that everybody knows who the fuck they are, and their face
Yeah,
ends up on Reddit and shit. Good times. That's the way to do it. Anywho,
that's the ticket.
now this next one is a crazy one because this happens. It's an accidental phone call, an accidental 911 call in Tennessee, Memphis, Tennessee, USA. So, and apparently this happens more often than we might think. This is like a common occurrence. It's not the first time it's happened. There's many stories about this kind of shit. But apparently, a Tennessee couple was getting freaking naughty in their home, if you know what I mean.
No, I don't know what
Oh,
you mean.
yeah.
Draw me a picture.
Yes, let me just go ahead. Oh, yes, Simo. I'll do it after the show. But, anyways,
Okay.
um, things were heating up, getting freaky. When all of a sudden, in the heat of the passion, one of their phones fell off the nightstand. But here's the kicker: it hit the 911 speed dial button, and to make it a double whammy in the heat of the moment, they didn't notice. Meanwhile, a freaking 911 dispatcher is listening to this impromptu porno and begin hearing something like this. "Ugh, ugh, ugh, ugh,
Oh, that sounds like that's like Drew Barrymore in Scream.
That's right. So what did the dispatcher think? Naturally, that someone was being fucking assaulted. So the police were dispatched into the scene. After a few minutes, the cops literally burst in mid-thrust like, freeze! Is everyone okay in here? Doing a wellness check that completely cock-blocked the couple and almost turned into the plot of most of the porns I watch.
Yeah.
However, you know, sometimes it's firefighters. It's a whole thing. However, luckily, no one was hurt. Except for the couple, which the cops immediately shot once they saw they were Venezuelan. Not just kidding. Everyone was fine, and then ended up with a hilariously awkward story to tell. Thank God. Yeah, that was not a. It was. Thank God they were white, or else it probably would have been a different situation. Just saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, can you imagine that shit though? Getting cockblocked by the cops.
Do
That's
you
so
think
awkward.
cops really rushed there? Do you think eventually they caught on and they were like, maybe I'll touch myself a little bit in this back of this cruiser?
Freeze. Hold on, I still need a couple of chumps. Okay, resume. Turn her over. I like missionary watching.
Yeah, pretty much.
Freeze, my body camera shut off. Hold on, let me turn it back on so the boys can take a look at this at the station. I think that's the way to do it. Thanks, Jimmy. Anywho, we are each down to 2 stories, I believe.
Yeah, this one is in Florida. Surprise, surprise. And this man called 911 after a domestic dispute turned violent, which I don't understand because aren't domestic disputes violent anyway?
Yeah, I guess. But I mean, I guess. Well, yeah, maybe she could be throwing shit or threatening, but I guess
Because
if you start
otherwise it's
throwing
just
shit,
an
that's violent.
argument. I feel
Yeah,
like when you call something a domestic dispute, it just sounds so like bad news to me. Because normally be like, oh, we argued the other night.
that's
You
true. It
know,
does say domestic dispute, so there were a dispute at the home. So that makes sense. Domestic violence is,
oh, okay.
God damn it,
I see, I
Susan,
see,
where's
I
my
see.
chicken tenders? I don't
No.
know. Well, bitch, I'm gonna kill you now. Oh no, I promise I'll make you chicken dinners. Too late now, ho.
And that's like most of the porns that I
And
watch.
scene.
And scene. Okay. So this guy called 911
Oh yeah,
after
SEMO.
this guy turned 911. This Florida man called 911 after his argument turned violent. And it's not your usual couples like pushing and shoving or argument. No, his wife grabbed his dick during an argument and she refused to let go. So he tried to push her off, but she must have thought she was, I don't know, cracking walnuts for Christmas. So when the dispatcher asked for a description of the injury, the guy says completely seriously, the beans are out of the pod.
Oh, she ripped his ball sack, dude.
Yeah. So a
Oh.
couple of questions. One is if anyone's holding on to your penis, you Carlos, are you gonna push them or are you gonna pry their hands off the penis?
Yeah, I'm gonna grab him by the wrist, right? The wrist is actually pretty weak, and if you squeeze it hard enough, it actually hurts, and they should release the penis and the testicles, which she was full on lashed to. Um, that's the best plan. You're not gonna pull away. I know it's a knee-jerk reaction to pull away, don't get me wrong, but good lord, man. That is
I
not the
think
move.
I would try to get their hands off my penis, and if I couldn't, I would grab their penis or their nasties or whatever I could. They could be
Yeah, I'd
equally as
grab a titty.
uncomfortable.
I would grab a titty, but the thing is, man, the balls are so sensitive too. Like, when someone
I also
squeezes you by
think
the balls, you're at their. I've had someone do that to me, and it hurts so bad. You're at their mercy. There's nothing you can really do.
Or I think that maybe if they grab my balls hard enough, I might just fall on the ground and like their complete mercy, without the strength to push them. But that's
Oh,
my first question. My second question is, if you were to call 911 and compare your nuts to something, are you going to compare them to beans? Isn't that because like when I go to Chipotle, like black or pinto beans are very small, and so if beans fell out of the pod, then if, as a dispatcher, I'd be like, sir, I'm sorry. Like, I don't know what it's like to live with that deformity.
I would say
We'll get your little itty
the
bitty
nuts are
testicles
out
back
of the
in it.
shell. The nuts are out of the shell.
I
What
would
would
say,
you go with?
she tore my sack.
She tore my sack.
She tore my nutsack, bro.
Yeah, good for him on trying to be couth during this. Like, I would be like, she tore my fucking balls off, you son of a bitch. She's like,
Yeah.
the beans are in the bag. He's trying to fucking wisecrack over here, dude. You're holding your testicles in your hand. Can you imagine what that looks like, too?
The
Like,
beans are out of the pot. I just think of like edamame. Like,
yeah, it does
it's
look
really
like
small,
edamame, which are
you
pretty
know?
delicious, though. Put them in, get the
Yeah,
little
I love
salt and the
edamame.
soy sauce.
I like it salted, and I put a little bit of lime juice on it.
Oh, lime
And I
juice.
shake it up.
I just dip it in soy sauce with a little salt. But yeah, that sounds good. And do some lime juice. But I can't imagine having that happen to me. But also, then after you have to get emergency surgery, obviously, with a ton of stitches and probably skin grafts and shit to your balls to fucking make it shut again.
Well,
And then
that's
the
if they
recovery
found the
process.
beans.
Yeah.
What
And
if the beans are so far out of the pod that they couldn't find
they
them in
can't do
time,
anything.
or they it's no point in reattaching them because they're
Oh,
like dead beans. Maybe she put them in burrito and ate them, and maybe we have to wait a few days for them to pass.
that's
You don't want
right.
them. You don't want them back.
That's right. Or maybe she Lorena Bobbitt it and just threw him out
Yeah,
in the
throw them
yard.
in the field.
Then I want to be gay and picking up the fucking beans.
Yeah, in Florida, they're not going to pick up the beans.
Nope. God forbid. They might turn gay.
They might. Don't catch it.
That's right. Don't catch it. That's what happened to Simo. Accidentally touched the ball, and here we go. It just happened.
Mm-hmm.
It just happened. Anywho, the beans are out of the pod. Ugh. God, that's what that one just like
Can you
makes me
imagine
like.
the dispatcher's like, okay, great, but are they out of your mouth too? Just making sure. They're out of the pot. Are they in your butthole? Where are the beans, sir?
Can you
Where
send
are
me a
the
picture?
beans?
Anyways,
Would you mind FaceTiming real quick?
yeah, I got to show people this.
The guys in the lounge don't
They don't
believe this is
me.
happening.
Yeah. Oh shit. Anywho, this one we're going international, where a guy from the UK called their version of
That's
911,
barely international.
which is
Just kidding.
but they call 999 over there, which I have to say it's easier to remember. It's just this 3 numbers. Same 3 numbers, just an emergency. You don't have to worry about it. Just I think it works. And in this case, this man who was a grown-ass adult, he had been freshly circumcised. Good Lord. Why would you do that when you're an adult? But anyways, and he was apparently not medically cleared for takeoff and decided to test out the runway a little early. Again, if you know what I mean. Now, it all begins when a man falls in love with a woman, or another man and a woman, or their second cousin if you live in West Virginia, and they fill each other with love. Oh wait, no, you weren't asking. Anyways, plus that was a typo. I didn't mean to say love. I meant to say lube. They fill each other up with lube, and then Anyways, mid sexy time, this man who again had just been fucking circumcised not that long ago had something go horribly wrong, and he ended up calling 999 again, the UK's 911, absolutely losing his shit. He then told the dispatcher that his junk is now the size of a football, not a golf ball, not a baseball, not a grapefruit, a football. And this is not American football either. This is soccer. From swelling, yes. Meanwhile, while the dispatcher put him on hold, you could apparently hear him yelling to his girlfriend, "Baby, did you not see this? The head of my dick looks like a football." Now, this raises so many questions for me. Like, was it a deflated football or like a fully inflated Tom Brady special? Did they measure the PSI on that bad boy? I don't know. But either way, this guy's meat thermometer went from Dr. Jekyll to Mr. Hyde real quick. Can you imagine that fucking thing? And can you imagine the poor dispatcher too? Like, how do you hear this shit and maintain any level of professionalism during that call? I don't think you can.
So it's the size of a football.
So it wouldn't have been like that big.
But why is it the shape of a football?
Well, it was the head turned into. I guess the head is because that's where the skin is all off. Got really swollen. So the head's a little round dealy, and it got all. So I can imagine like the head just like completely swollen and just like dangled over by like a little piece of skin.
But I feel like if you waited that long, why get circumcised that late in life?
Well, you can, but you're usually supposed to wait a few weeks to have sex. Apparently, this guy did it within like a day or two, which is absurd. Like like they took skin off his dick. I don't know if there's stitching or anything. Like I don't know what happens into it, but so much can go wrong. You can get infected. All kinds of shit can go wrong. Apparently, he did go to make a full recovery. 6 months later, they did a check in, and he said he was back to regular sexual activity. It was fine. But yeah, you
I hope
can't.
it's someone else.
Yeah, probably it's someone else.
Because I
You
wouldn't be
can't
able
just
to.
fucking do that.
You
You
can't
can't
forget
just
that.
get circumcised and go right into it, man. Like, what are you doing, bro? You gotta fucking let it heal. Good lord.
Horrible.
Ugh.
And I feel like if you're healing and you're probably stitched up, my assumption is you're probably stitched or whatnot. Then if you get a boner, um, isn't there a lot of blood rushing to
Yeah.
like a concentrated
Oof.
area? That can't be
Oof.
good.
I'd be like, think of grandma all day long.
Baseball, 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 baseball.
Grandma, this is a very weird request, but can you send me a naked picture of yourself? Don't ask. I can't get horny for 6 months, so I just need to look at you.
Grandma, can you come into the bedroom for a moment? Hi, can I suck your thumb?
Grandma, you're the ugliest person I know. Please get naked. Don't make it weird, Grandma. Don't make it weird. Oh Jesus. Oh
Grandma,
God.
can you cut your toenails right over my face? Thanks. Thanks, I needed this.
Can you let me smell him, Grandma?
Yuck. Well,
We're each down to one story.
I got
Oh
one left.
yes.
And
Hit me.
this one is
Imp-
so I know this girl who used to work in the emergency room during rotations when she was like a resident doctor, I guess.
Right.
And she said that some woman came in, she and her lesbian lover were masturbating with a beer bottle. And somehow the beer
No.
bottle formed like a suction and yanked out like gave her like a hysterectomy or something, like sucked out her goodies. And she was like, "What is this in this beer? I'm in a lot of pain. And what is in here?" And they're like, I think that's your, I don't know, uterus or something. Like, I don't know, women's parts. I'm gay. So, so I was like, oh my gosh, like, this is crazy. But I think I, I guess I just assume that lesbians have lots of toys and wouldn't have to resort to like a beer
So a
bottle.
fucking
But
bottle, dude. What the fuck?
I also
Yeah.
don't know if like that's like sanitary. Like, I'm not putting anything inside of me unless it's been cleaned and inspected. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
like,
fuck that.
So anyway, this article didn't surprise me because I was like, oh, yeah, I mean, people put things in themselves. So, okay,
Touche.
a man called 911 in Portland, Oregon,
Yep.
from a payphone to
No.
report that he had a pipe wrench lodged in his rectum. When asked how responders would identify him, he replied, "Look, dude, I'm the only guy in the corner with a pipe wrench in his butt." And yeah, I believe it. But also, like, why outside? Like, why not at home? You know?
I know, right? And I mean, I have to say, he's very confident in himself, too, at least.
Though I don't know if it makes a difference, but if I was a 911 operator, I'd be like, why?
Yeah.
Why there?
I'd be like, call a plumber. I
Why?
don't know what the fuck you want from me. I
I don't know.
use the wrench.
Weird.
But like, and again, like, how did that even like? Did he fall on it? Is he dating it? Is it is it some
But
kind of Home Depot loyalty program? Come with a wrench up your ass, and you get a discount, free wrenches for life. It's like the Chipotle, you know, if you come dressed for Halloween as a burrito, you get a free burrito. Bring
Oh,
a wrench up
really?
your ass. You got a $10 coupon.
Maybe it was like a hot summer day and he had the wrench in a refrigerator or freezer, and that was his
Yes,
like technique for cooling down. I don't
that's
know.
right. He turns himself into an ice cream pop.
Or maybe I don't know, maybe he swallowed some nuts and screws and he thought that if he could get him out with the wrench in his butt. I have no idea.
That's right. Or maybe he was just trying to fix himself, you know, and that's how, you know,
Yeah. Good
his,
luck.
his therapist told him you really gotta fix yourself, you gotta work on yourself. And he just took it very literally. He was just a very literal guy. But to be fair, that is
Also
kind of a
doesn't
stupid question to ask him. How am I gonna know who the guy with the rump shop his ass is? I mean, it should be pretty obvious there, dude.
well, in his defense, maybe not. Maybe the dispatcher should have been like, if I had dollar every time someone called me with a wrench in his ass, like I'd be fucking
I know.
wealthy as fuck. So I'm gonna ask you
Especially here
again,
in Portland,
sir.
Oregon.
Like it's pretty presumptuous to you for you to assume that you're the only one with a tool in his butthole right now.
You're the third guy who's called me about a wrench up his
Third
ass
one
in the last
today.
15 minutes, you
Yeah.
know, and I just
Yeah.
clocked on. So I don't know what it is you want. Just give me the information so I can get. I know you have a wrench up your ass, but maybe remove the stick out of there too, buddy.
Yeah. Exactly.
Fucking jerk.
But I was just
Trying
thinking
to
to myself,
help you.
why a wrench and why not like I wonder if someone put it in there for him. Maybe he got in an argument with someone and they beat him up and they
That's
shoved
it.
it up his butt.
I told you what would happen if you didn't stop cheating at Mario Kart. Come here.
Or maybe his woman was like, I told you to do the fucking dishes, you jackass.
That's right. That's right.
You know?
Now it's your turn to feel my pain. You're a pain in my ass. Now you're about to be
Hmm.
a pain in yours. Yeah, I can see it. I can see it. Now, on to my final story here, our final story on the show. This one taking it to a Simo's old hometown, Chicago, Illinois. It's
Yeah.
Illinois.
Illinois.
Illinois. Now, this is fucking insane, and I can't believe it's true, but this is, again, these are all true stories. A woman called 911 to report that her car had been sexually soiled by a valet. She said that the car had been sexually assaulted. She claimed a suspicious white stain on the passenger seat was evidence. And when the dispatcher suggested it might be like cleaning soap residue, she insisted she knew what it was because she tasted it and was certain it was semen. So
Ew.
again, this woman calls 911. She was in a full panic. She claimed the valet has sexually assaulted the car. Not keyed not scratched the paint. No. And then she literally, her first instinct right here is to turn this into a CSI episode and be like, what is this? Naturally, semen. It tastes just
Ew.
like it. She taste tested the crime scene, dude. And let me tell you, it had a hint of pineapple, and that's how she knew. It's like, oh, I
Ugh.
get it. It's just the thing. Now imagine being that fucking dispatcher, though. Like you're sitting there, you're trying not to gag while this lady's describing her fucking car's violated interior, like a Law and Order episode. And the worst thing to me is not that it's the assumption that it was semen. It was the fact that it was her first instinct was to go in their tongue first. Like, what the fuck are you
Um,
doing, lady?
how many times do you think that like a dispatcher has to be like, sorry, man, please don't taste the crime scene. Please don't do that again.
Please don't
Please
swallow
don't
the
touch it.
evidence, ma'am. Good lord, what are you doing? Because DNA tested that shit.
Maybe she was just trying to frame them. Maybe she threw up semen on her
That's
car
right.
seat,
She
and
brought
then
her from home.
she knew that if they were
Oh,
to test it, they're gonna find some of her DNA. So that
that's
she was
right.
like, "Oh, I tasted it."
So she went
So
back
yes,
in for seconds to
yes.
finish the job. It's like, yeah, I tasted it. Well, did you leave any left? No, I was kind of hungry.
Ugh.
I don't know what you want from me, but good Lord. I mean, to be fair though, what if it really was cum and some guy just came in her car? Like, what the fuck? Why are you
Well,
coming in people's cars?
what if it's bleach? She's gonna get sick from that.
She could have died, yeah. But
What's wrong with her?
the thing is, if you swallow cum enough times, you know what cum tastes like. So, in the way, I feel kind of like I'm victim blaming her for the way that she came to the conclusion. But it would be pretty awful if you trust a valet and then the valet jerks off in your front seat. I would feel pretty violated too. I just, wouldn't
Maybe
taste the
she
cum.
watched it. Maybe she's part of it.
Ooh, maybe.
But I think that there's gotta be like, when do you as a 911 operator determine, or how do you determine if something's like not worth your time? You know what I mean? Because you want to make sure that you prioritize the emergencies. So if someone's calling you like there's semen on my car seat, I know that because I just licked it. I'd be like, ma'am, I don't have time for this,
I don't have
please.
time. Someone
Like,
just got stabbed in the other line. I gotta go.
you know,
Yeah. I feel like they should get like 5 hang-ups a day. And if your call's stupid enough, they should just be like, "Oh, sorry." Or they should be able to go, "I can't hear you. Speak up." Hang up. That should be
I
legal.
saw this video on TikTok where this little girl, she's probably like, I don't know, 10, 12 years old. She texted some Facebook group or something, or 911. I think she texted 911. Did you know you can text 911? She texted 911 that she's getting kidnapped, and she thought it was a joke. She and her little brother were playing a joke, and cops found the car that she was in, and then went to the house and like interrogated her parents about whether or not she was safe, and then they determined it was just a joke. And she lied about it at first, and then
Wow.
they had like multiple cop cars. They had an Amber Alert out. They took it super seriously, so they wasted a lot of like, taxpayer funding. So
Totally.
this cop took her in, this 12-year-old, and said, your parents will see you later, but I'm going to take you to the courthouse, and this is a major felony, and we're going to fingerprint you, and we're going to go through the process, and then later your parents can come get you, but this is going on your record. And I thought they handled it so well. Like, she's never
Yeah,
going to do that again.
for
You have
sure.
to.
For
Like, that's
sure.
so serious. And so, yeah, she should lose some sleep that night, and that's going to make her a better person. That's tough love.
Damn right. Like, for example, like I also believe in tough love, like the other day, I told Julie to bring her apartment keys with her, and she didn't. So I just locked her out and had her sleep outside in the fucking street. Now she remembers.
That's life. Now she
Yeah,
knows she'll never do that again.
totally. And then some hobo threw some
Part of
dookie on her, and that's what she learned.
It's like being a parent. Like, you have to teach your kids to be
The hard
autonomous.
lessons,
Yeah.
exactly, totally. I had to learn that. I slept outside several nights. It's just what you do.
So like if my kid was like, I don't like what you made for dinner, Dad, I'd be like, then fine. Go out in the car and lick what's on that passenger seat. I got a little present for you. Want some protein? Go lick
That's
the
right.
cum off that passenger seat. Either that or this fucking meatloaf.
Damn right. And that's called parenting, brought to you by the FratChat Podcast. But
Yeah.
that was our list, ladies and gentlemen, of the 10 wildest, most outrageous, most ridiculous 911 calls, brought to you right here by the FratChat Podcast. Let us know what you thought of our list. Let us know if we missed any, if you've heard of any hilarious 911 calls that we want to chat about in the future, or if you have any other topic ideas or any questions, anything you want to know. Shoot us an email, fratchatpodcast@gmail.com. Also, make sure you follow us on all social channels. Not the old Instagram, the old Threads, Facebook, Twitter, /X, YouTube, you name it. You can follow us on there at FratChat Podcast. You can also give me a follow as well. Check out my website, carlosgarciacomedy.com. You can follow my good buddy Simo as well. Well, actually, I should give you the rest of my social channels as well because I'm a professional. But follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Threads, TikTok, YouTube, you name it. Carlos Does the World. And follow me at Twitter /X, Carlos Does World. And now you can follow my good buddy Simo here, chris.moore.comedy on TikTok and Instagram, and Seymour Comedy on Twitter
Or
/X.
or follow me in the closest bathroom at your local airport.
That's right. Just be careful to not fall into the poopy pit.
Don't fall in the poop pit.
But anyways, just to know, on that note, and another hilarious episode, it's time for us to go. So won't you please get us out of here?
I motion to adjourn this meeting.
And I second. All right, you guys, we'll be back next week for another amazing episode of the greatest podcast in the history of podcasts and time. It's the FratChat Podcast. I'll see ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Sorry.